Less about the rain and more about the wind, but you still have to take precautions. You still have to be prepared. The offense always feels like it has the advantage because they know where they're going when they make their cuts.
It's a rematch of Super Bowl 47, -1 Harbaugh. The Ravens and 49ers are underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
The Niners take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Here we go, here we go. 180! Okay, double up.
Now a man who really stepped up last year. This is Matt Breida. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. And these are the guys we're about to see down on the turf in just a moment.
Joe Staley, the left tackle, one of the most respected players in the league, as well as one of the most talented.
At the 23-yard line.
We're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
On second and 9. Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to bring up a fourth down. On now is the 27-year-old rookie, Mitch Wisnowski, to punt. Back deep is DeAnthony Thomas. Pulled in at the 24. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let's go, team.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson rolling to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, then maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry. Now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
Watch the call. Watch the call.
On 2nd and 9, Garoppolo. And Sanders has got it complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. As the Ravens come back out here on offense, we talked about Lamar Jackson earlier, Charles, but these Ravens, they rolled through the middle part of the season. Couple losses in September, but undefeated in October, November, and rolled that into December. They've answered every big question thus far. The wins over Seattle, New England, Houston, the Rams, the Niners, and Bills as well. Are they the favorites to hoist the Lombardi Trophy in Miami on February 2nd?
I believe they are because they are a complete team. As much as Lamar Jackson powers everything on offense, he has Marquise Hollywood Brown out wide. He can throw the ball deep, too. Dependable tight ends led by Mark Andrews. Really good offensive line. Mark Ingram can run it. The defense comes at you from every imaginable angle.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd.
Just like that.
Jackson from the shotgun, out to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run, deep left side. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, You'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. Throwing is Jackson, being chased out left. He may try and run for this. 27 yards, a big play there on 4th.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. They'll buy some time right. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this 1st quarter. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Play action. Now Jackson. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Nick Bosa in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. To throw is Jackson. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7. Here's Jackson, forced out to his left. And he's going to go down again. Nick Bosa. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. And, partner, I'm not really sure what in the world they were thinking on 4th and long there at this stage in the game, but you think social media may be firing up a little bit right now?
Oh, the coach is trending right now. All right, there's no doubt about it. People are wondering what that decision was. But it takes me back to a number of years ago. A very successful coach in the league had told himself before a playoff game he was going to be aggressive. No matter what, he's going to be aggressive. And it ran his team into some real problems early, and they got upset in that playoff game. Let's see if this team can recover.
Well, that's aggressive in capital letters with glitter, 7 underscore. I mean, that's the definition of aggressive.
Yeah, you can almost hear the cheerleaders doing the be aggressive chant behind him, and he listened to it.
They'll run with Coleman on 1st down and give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go. Here we go.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. 49ers with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. 2nd and goal from the 1. They'll try to run with Breida. And he's not going to push his way forward. He's going to be stopped at the 2-yard line. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's 3rd and goal at the 1. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They held them out on 2nd down, and now here's 3rd and goal. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. He's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with our Jonathan Coachman. He'll have highlights and analysis of the first half, and our highlights will likely be on the defensive side of the football here. Scoreless game. As the offense takes the field, we zero in on. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the Wild Bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now it's Jackson sliding out of the pocket. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Dee Ford, give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
No, he missed the PAT. No good on the extra point, so a letdown there. And this will stay a 6-point ball game. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And the return will stop right around the 25.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Garoppolo, he's going to give this to Breida on the draw. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Here we go. Like 20.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. So we've reached halftime here on... And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. 20. And they are finally going to stop him, but what a return. All the way to the 10.
Similar to golf, you never want to count a score before it actually happens, but you have to figure. They thought they were going to get 6 on that play. Great effort to keep them out of the end zone, but a big-time return.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Steps away to his left. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. A 10-yard touchdown run as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point.
Defensively, by now, you know his ability. You know he has it in him to take off and run.
Yeah, because they knew coming into this game, but we've already seen examples in this contest that he can run the football.
I think they're going to examine different ways to rush him now. Are they going to do it with different lanes? Are they going to use a spy? But they have to come up with options because right now, he's hurting them.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage, if that. And with a flag on the field. And that one looks to be in the area where someone was held. So no gain on the play. They'll decline the penalty to not give them the down back.
And were you thinking to yourself that maybe they would take the yardage there?
Yeah,
because
possibly.
I definitely was. But as you noted, maybe they're just looking at the downs chart and saying, okay, we're comfortable where we are.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Returnable for Thomas. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. He's going to take off with it. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Everyone in this stadium knows Jackson can do that as well as any QB in the league. They talked about limiting some of his running this year, especially the design runs, but he's still going to scramble when he feels he has green in front of him. He led all quarterbacks last year, 695 yards rushing, and keep in mind 80% of those came in the 7-game stretch when he was named starter late in the season. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 33 yards that time.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him, and he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. Past the 20. And across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. And a big turning point here in the second half, Charles, after that play.
All you're trying to do is change momentum, flip things around for your team. You're just trying to take the ball away. How about when you take it away and score? That really changes things.
Now Garoppolo and the Niners will come up and go for 2. After the fumble recovery, it's Garoppolo toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. They had the big play on the fumble return. They were looking for the 1-2 punch, but they couldn't get that two-point conversion.
And I have to wonder, were they scheduled to go ahead and kick the extra point? But after a play like that, you talk about the 1-2 punch, right? It's a momentum play. Go for 2 and really try to capitalize, and that's what they attempted.
This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. CD, with that incompletion, let's talk AFC playoff picture. I think you and I agree that if you put together any sort of power rankings, we'd put Baltimore #1, certainly in the AFC. But you look ahead to the playoffs getting started on January 4th. Who do you see as their main competitor for that Lamar Hunt trophy?
Well, tradition and us not wanting to be wrong dictates that we say New England next. And rightly so, because of the number of Lombardi trophies they've won, how they've always played at this time of year. But the bottom line to me is the prime contenders right now for Baltimore, Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes has gotten together. The defense is playing better. And Buffalo really showed me something when they beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh on a Sunday night in Week 15.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. Here we go on 4th down with Jackson. Steps away. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
And he's going to be met at about the 43. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 2nd down now, it's Coleman. And he's going to be down close to a first down at the Ravens 37.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
To throw is Garoppolo. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Nice big gain there from Marquise Brown, first-round pick out of Oklahoma. Of course, his cousin knows a thing or two about big catches in the NFL. That's Antonio Brown. And now Hollywood hoping to carry on the family tradition of solid production at the wide receiver position. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now Jackson on first down. Got a man. It's Brown. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion. And that makes this 2nd and 9. Jackson now. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
His struggles finding open receivers continue. I don't know the last time I saw him this inconsistent throwing the football.
It would be hard to find a date when he was this inconsistent. You know, in his locker, he keeps the word poise printed on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. He needs to find that poise right now.
He certainly does. In fact, I would suggest he laminated.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Here we go.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Got his target, Samuel. 19 yards that time for number 19.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. On 1st down, here's Breida. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, it's a handoff to Coleman. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner. And there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. from the gun. It's Garoppolo. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. So Lamar Jackson in the offense. Down by 2. 2 minutes, 20 seconds to go. Plenty of time here. They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning as they've got it 1st and 10. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now this one into the hands of the tight end, Hayden Hurst. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. 2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. They'll look to throw.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
He can run for it, and he will. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the 1st down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the 1st, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movement. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Buying time to his left. And that is incomplete. I see you nodding your head up and down. It's a very heady decision at this stage of the game. Out of the pocket, nowhere to go. Just get rid of it.
That's a smart play because you're not worried about your completion percentage, and you're also not trying to force it into bad traffic as well. Throw the ball away, live to fight another down.
And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the 1st by a few yards. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. First things first here, they got to pick up the 1st down.
And remember, it is 4th down, so they've got to pick up a completion here. Otherwise, this one's over.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And this kick is not going to get there. It's short and no good. Well, that would have been something if he could have saved him from that long distance there in the closing seconds, but it was just not meant to be.
They need a little more time and a little more yardage to give him a realistic shot. And that kick's a good metaphor for this game, isn't it? They're going to wind up a little short in the end.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. And they'll indeed take a knee. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. 180!
Down to a knee for the 49ers. This one about to be on ice. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game.
Here we go, here we go. 180! Hey, watch the ball,
Down to a knee goes Garoppolo, and that ought to do it.
A loss of a yard. It's fourth down.
And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on fourth down.
Hey, let's get this.
They run for it with Breida. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on fourth down. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The 49ers get the win here at home as we say so long from Santa Clara.